Hello, hello, hello. This is your man Nicholas Shepherd from the Shepherd Family Enterprise, Business Administration and Information System Consultants. And in this session, I'm going to be going back over my project management database. Okay, I'm going a little further back than I usually go back, but the reason why I'm going back this far because I kind of got off track in what I was supposed to be doing. So at this time, I'm going to go over my um, project outline where I kind of like fell off and how I'm getting back on task. Okay. First of all, let me go ahead and show my screen of what I'm gonna be doing. Okay. And in this, which I'm going to be showing you, is where I actually hold on, make sure that I can see. I really don't have to show myself, but here no there. I guess I'm gonna go here. Okay. It's here. Okay. Now, what I found out, okay, in my project management database, right? And I don't have my project management database showing, but I'm gonna pause this right quick and I'm gonna go back in. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the first initial situation that we was just talking about, and it's basically the project. So this is it here. Okay, this was going on. As I started working on my project, okay, what I was noticing about this whole spiel, as they may call it, or what the situation was, is that I was not keeping track of what the transitions were when I was working on each project. Okay. Now, and that's because whenever I'm start working on something and then something comes up, I switch modes to go back through an incident that would actually allow me to say, okay, um, I'm gonna build this into my database. Okay. And since I am the one that's actually doing all the building and the process gathering, structuring the project tasks to myself, um, okay, it can, it kind of, you know, uh, put a lot of delays and a lot of different things, okay? But I'm gonna go to my database, right? And within my database, and I'm gonna go back through these steps, okay? Now, first of all, I'm just going to show my forms and then I'm going to go down and we're going to go over some things pertaining to how I go about assigning projects. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of different facets of my project management database, okay? And within these different facets structured, there are steps I'm supposed to take to make sure that everything that I'm doing is documented and the transition goes from one stage to another. So I can't stop this stage unless I either close it or put it on pause. Okay. And then I pick up another facet of the project related to that, okay, entity, and then open up another task. Okay. So the thing is that whenever I work on something, there has to be a task associated with it. Okay. So um, I have like some tasks. Okay, concerning my project. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up here. I'm trying to find some, and bear with me because I haven't been basically looking at this in a while. All right. So, and also you got to understand. the funding has to be there. So if I'm going to work on something, I have to look at, well, how much time would it take? And if I tried to bring on someone, do I have the funding to pay that person to assist me? Okay, if I don't, then I have to do it myself. And if I don't have the funding to pay someone to assist me and I do it myself, I must make the project that I created a restricted product, okay? Whereas that I will not go over the diameters of what is needed, okay? Really needed. Um, and if I want to grow it, I have to put that aside. But I need to make these transitions as quickly as possible, okay? So it has to be quick and easy, and some of it may not be as flamboyant as far as the structures, others, but I need to make sure the transition is going from one stage to another, okay? Um, I have this form, okay, my project form, right, for that, where that I can go back throughout, days past, months past, years past, and I take a review of what I was doing and then find out what priorities they are. Okay, and every time I do this, I come up with different ideas. I say, okay, these are priorities, and within these priorities, I have to make sure that whether they complete it or not. All right. So, like here, all right, on this priority one task, I need to say like whether it's task one, task two, task three, task four, whatever. Okay, and I have to be able to say whether or not it is completed or what percentage that I think that I have accomplished the goal when I created this task. All right, and how much time it took. All right, and because I have to put restrictions on myself. All right, and because I need to be able to, number one, I need to be able to go into my project database. Right, so I'm gonna open this up in the form format. Okay, and when I open this form up, I should be able to say, okay, like on this customer service screen, I should be able to go and say, okay, I'm gonna start on a project. Okay, so how can I go about doing that? So of course, you know, when I try to start a project, I got to figure out where am I going. So let's say I click the project management. Okay, I put in my login ID, then okay, it lets me in. So now I look at the fact that I'll click this button to find out whether or not there's a budget, okay, that's associated with what is needed for me to work on a task, okay? So this button isn't actually doing that, but it's supposed to, okay? So what it is that, and I'm doing this as I go, okay, because what it is that I need to create an ideal, okay, how I'm gonna go about creating tasks. So, um, even though these are priorities, okay, but what I'm going to have to do, okay, like under this priority here, all right, so this is a priority, I'm going to put a number associated with this, okay. So, let's say I do this, okay. So I'm gonna say section 3 point whatever, okay, that's under this. You understand? So, and what happens, you see how it basically does these things, and of course it's not supposed to do that because this is a header. This isn't this, which I'm gonna take off. I can let me do it. So I'm going to bring this down. All right. So it's creating sections, which there's no problem with that. So, um, and then it turn all these to articles. So I don't want that. Okay. So I'm gonna have to undo. Where's my undo? Undo, 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 undo. Let's see, control. Okay, so what I'm about to do is under this priority. Okay, so what I'll do, um, I'll go here. Okay, and this is a priority, but I'm have to make sure that the subsequent task up under there has to be related to it. So let me see how can I do this. So I can define a new multi-line list. Of course, it's not gonna be articles or anything like that. I'm gonna do something to define a multi-line list. Um, I want it to be one, two, and three. Basically what this is on level five. Into number. Of course, it'll be one number style. Okay, so I'm gonna say one. Maybe they do it. But see what it did. It did this. Okay, which it's okay. All right, it is. It's okay that it did this. Um, but within this, I don't have to. Let's see. Create another set of requirements. Okay. So here it's saying this one, two, three, whatever the situation is. I'm gonna close this out because this is a priority. Right, this is a priority. So priority one, it did exactly what I want. So there's no problem. But as you see, it's putting these all these other things in here that under the date, and I really and it creating these sections. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm looking at like, okay, section this that. I don't want that. Okay, I don't. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this out. All them. Okay, so I don't need that. I don't want it to create that type of structure. Um, so I can say I can create my own, right? But I'm just trying to test some things. Um, it said I want to do this right here, list style. So this right here, but I got to make sure. Um, I don't want to start it. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out numbering style. One, two, three, hanging. Three. Okay, but I don't want to be right there. Okay, so what I would do, I would say, let's see, what if I say one? If I say one, it does that. Okay, all right. So, but I wanted to list. You understand? Control auto format options. Okay, fraction. This is that. That all correct. See, I don't want it to just be creating numbers. I'm about to create my own. And see, that's why. Uh, it's going from 5. Alright, but it's going to do this. Number to the left. Of course, I want it to be like A. This right here. I want it to be capital A. I want it to be an A. Right? So, if I did that, what would it do? Okay, it didn't do it. See? I want to adjust set number value style. I don't want a number. And see, it's going to force me to use these formats. So say I can do a style. Okay, so um, and it keeps in style 8 and all that stuff like that. I don't really font underline. I can always see new document based on this template. So no. Okay, here it is right here. So I'm gonna do this and see what happens. So it's one. Okay. But I want this to be a list, a new list. Change new multiple list. And I think I should have been doing this before I started doing all this stuff, right? Because let me see, let me try something. New heading before, new heading after. And here. Alright, so I can do this. It's a new. I said after. That's after. Okay, right. Do this. Alright. These are tasks. Alright. But I want form. I want this to be that. So I'm going to see. Over here. So I'm going to do this. Okay. Alright. And then what I want to do is. Where you about to go now, Nikki? And I don't want this to be as though I am. I screwed up. Oh man. Okay. See, I did something. See what it's doing here. It actually what it did. It I did something that was kind of screwed up, which I should have done. Um, so it's blacking out my screen. I can exit out of that. Okay. Okay, so um, I had to go back and restart it. I had to go back and restart this thing because I messed around and screwed something up, and now I'm gonna have to figure out what did I do wrong. So one's a speaker, one's headset, so that's no problem at all. But it's not supposed to do this. So audio, but I know what it's doing, so it's not really a big problem. I'll put it the same. So, um, see, my thing is that what it's doing is playing my audio over the speaker. Well, it was doing that at first. Okay, so it's no problem. Let's see. So, the situation is I'm trying to create this document where I know where I am. Okay, and what happened was that, and let me see if I can cut this because come up with this. All right, which is this sort of a priority, and I might want to put like a button on there. I don't know if it'll show it, but that's okay. It's no problem. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come down, make this, and I'm gonna do some spacing, line spacing, and do it like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this in here. Okay, now, of course, I'm not gonna use these. Um, take these out. I don't need them. Right. So, and tasks. I'm gonna say, fuck it. No, I'm always doing that. I'm gonna say tasks. There's a cost. That's how it's gonna be. So bring this down. Okay, and can I demote this? Okay. What's up with that? Okay, so what I'm doing is that I had to go back because I was trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to control these projects when they're basically all over the place. I need to start tracking exactly what I'm doing, how much time I'm spending on it, and I need to start acting more aggressive as far as completing certain roles. Okay, because I'm gonna have to create these roles and then hire someone to do it. So I have to make sure that what I'm doing falls in line with my overall objective. My overall objective is to create a role within my database and a process behind it, and then build upon that until the project is complete, okay, or the task is complete. All right. So what I've done is, you know, in my project, okay, like you have exponential costs, right, which have something to do with the project, but it does not have anything to do with the initiation of creating a project. So what it is that, okay, this button here, project budget. All right. What I have to do is, if I'm working or open a project, right? Okay, I look at a budget, and then it's gonna have to tell me exactly how much time and money it would take for me to really initiate this, right? So, the thing is that before I even start work on this, right, I have to create some type of um, process flow, right? Now, in this particular document, I started doing that. Okay, in this right here, which I'm going to show you. Okay, and here I'm showing, um, when I log in, everything like that, and then it goes into customer worksheet, so the customer name. Okay, and if the customer name is not there, um, you know, um, complete needed information and trigger business consultant for action. Okay, and then it goes into input the customer name. I have to do all this information right here. All this stuff had to be completed. All right, and once I do that, I have to say okay. Like it says, click account adjustments button. Then it says account funding approval adjustment and adjustment form. Okay, so all this stuff had to be investigated. Okay, do we have the funding? All right, to work on this project. All right, so these are valid, you know, processes. Now, the button that I'm that's here, and I want to see if it's something in here. I don't know. Let me see. See. I'm trying to look and see if there anything associated with this button. Let's see this button. I'm going here. Data. Event. Nope. There's nothing. On click. There's nothing. Okay. So what it is that when I click on this button, and I want to go back. Okay. And because you know, as I mentioned, these steps have to be documented. That means that when I look at a project and I say, okay, I need to build a project, okay, and it could be an open project. A project can have many different tasks, many facets, okay, of operations, anything like that, but I'm just trying to stay on point so that I won't veer off into a lot of different directions pertaining to what I need to be doing, okay? So, um, I'm gonna go ahead and go into see where I am. Boo 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 boo. Um, go here, and of course you don't need to see me. I'm going to come out of my face. You don't need to see my face. So what I'm going to do is, in this, when I first go into my database, right? Of course, like of course, like I say, I have to sign in. Once I sign in, all these different steps happen, and if they happen, you know, it gives a customer name, everything like that. Now, all these things have to be associated with whether or not a, a, a project need to be established, or is it something that's going on that we need to know about? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, then I have my time clock thing that it's very basic, everything like that. I've been working on that, but I kind of fell away from it all in all. So, but anyway, go here, go up, 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 up. So, I'm gonna go into this customer service form here, okay? And the thing is, okay, if I want to work on a project, okay, this is for the customer. I'm a customer. If I'm creating a project, I'm the customer of this, database, right? So, um, since I'm a customer, of course, it'd be under um, our customer name, all right, which is Shepherd Family Enterprise, okay? So, my whole thing is um, if I want to do this, okay, and I want to create a project under there, I got to say, okay. And like I said, I'm going to go back under here again, okay? And this is just to let you see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So, um, this project here is for our company, okay? This is our project number, this account number, everything like that, project set number. Now, um, and this is like, say, the person that represent this whole process, okay? And here I could say, okay, proposal request, need assistance, inquiry, research analysis, whatever the situation is, I have to do this. So once I get this information, I can say, okay, now the point is, do I have to create a project number, right? Well, yes, you do. Okay, Now, what type of project numbers do I want to create? Because some projects could be related to a user, okay, or to like an end user, or a project related to a customer. So we want to make sure that we group these things up, and we want to make sure that, okay, like right here, um, we know that anything that has this here, okay, is associated with a customer, which is we're the customer. All right, we make ourselves a customer. The next step would be, okay, when we start creating projects, right? Because you don't never want we want this to be a clear indication that, okay, we have a project, and you know how will we know, okay, that this project is on us? Okay, so what we can basically do is, we can, since we already exist in the system, okay, we can bypass all of that and just go straight into um, the project area. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll go down to the project build customer, because like I said, we don't need to build a customer account because we already had an account. But the manual project number build. Okay. Now this whole process. Okay. This whole process has to be approved. Okay. So the thing is, if I am going to create a project, right? Okay, I'm going to create a project. I said this, okay, I'm going to create a project. And I need to figure out whether or not we have funding for it. Okay, so um, what the build administrator do, once it has been, um, uh, once it has been initiated, they will say, okay, this person wanted to build a project. All right. So the build administrator, all right, to actually build the project number, what they would do is they need to find out if, okay, if that, if the information that is provided to us, does it exist? Okay, where are you? You know, if you are associated with the company, all different factors. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll look at this and we say, okay, well, um, we say the customer exists, okay, and if the customer exists, how will this affect the company as a whole? All right. So what we need to do is say, okay, we need to build a project, and after we gather all the information, Because mind you, if before we even do something, we have to flow it out, just like I did here. We have to flow it out. Okay. So I just say, okay, from the time that I actually start looking into this whole process, I gotta say, okay, I gotta gather information. I say, okay, why do we need it? Okay. Now the basic reason why it's needed because some of the fact that there's certain things within my project database needs to be done, needs to be accomplished, needs to be worked, and it has not been worked because there's so many different facets of the database I'm trying to create. But the whole thing is time management. Do you have the time to actually work this whole process? Okay. Of course I do. Okay. I'm the owner of the project. I'm the owner, of the whole system. Whenever there's an issue, I have to fix it. Okay. So yes. Okay. Now, the next thing would be okay, the cost, right? So we will say, okay, how much will it cost for me to actually initiate this project? That means costing me time and all these things like that. How much I pay myself if I was doing it. If there was someone else that was going to do it, I was going to pay someone to do it. How much would I pay that person to do it? How much time they would have to spend on it, all this stuff like that. Okay, and that's all the analytics. Okay, that's all the analytics, and that's behind the scenes. Okay, so when I look at this, okay, and the person wants to initiate a project, the first thing they're going to say is, well, the project manager, okay, or the person that's actually doing this, they're going to say, okay, do we have the resources? All right. So, um, let's say, okay, we have to look at, do we have the resources? So we have a table, resource table, to find out, okay, and I know I'm a resource. So when I click the resource button should pull up a list of people that's available or potential contractors, whatever, and what they're working on. Okay, you understand? And it would tell us whether or not, is it hot, urgent, whatever the situation is. Okay, it would have to give me those factors. So, um, now the thing is that in this resources button, okay, now mind you, I gotta find out. First of all, I gotta find out, do we have the budget? Okay, when I click this budget, it should show me exactly how much money we have available to work on it, right? And if there's a possibility that we can move money around to start on a project, right? So then next we'll find out, um, we have resources for the project, and then when I push the project timelines, it should give me exactly who's working on what, how long they've been working it, what projects they're working, and when would they be completing. Okay, and then any type of project reporting is basically this is like a journal from the project people who's actually writing down. You get your documents there, and they'll tell you exactly if they ran any problems, anything like that. Now, then you have your bids, right? Now, when we do a project bid, that means that okay, we found the money, and bids can be something else as well. Okay, it can be other things, but this is what I'm focused on. I don't want to go off into this other stuff. So the project bid would be me going to um, personnel, okay, or people that would maybe fund the project and say, listen, okay, I need X amount of funding dollars to work on this project. And if they say, okay, well, do you have the people, right? Well, I'll sit and I tell him based on the resources, these are the people that I would need, And some of them are working on projects, and but it's no big rush on this and that. It's not a big priority, whatever the situation is. But we're only going to be doing this for X amount of time. Then it's going to fall off. And so what happens is that they say, well, they need additional training. Okay, I'm gonna say no, no, they wouldn't need, because if you have to do training, you click this button here, and then you will actually have to pull the name up or manually enter their name into the training database to start training. All right, this whole process, okay, this whole screen right here is dynamic to a point where we should know exactly what we need, right, and when we need it done. All right. So, um, you got business trends, project control worksheet, all these things here has to be functional operations, okay, for us to work on a project, okay. So, first thing first, all right, we need to create a functional PowerPoint um, flow, okay, which I started here, and to figure out exactly when will we start on a project and the process of getting it worked. Okay, we need this done. All right, we need this database system flowchart done. Um, and then from that, okay, which should be in my document here. My project worksheet. Okay, my project worksheet. I'm gonna need to put that in here. Okay, explanation of costs. I'm gonna have to justify this. Okay, this is the first task. The first task is going to be project control menu. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this design, and under this menu, just copy. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go here, task one. All right, I'm gonna put this in here, right? And then from that, I'm gonna have to give a description. Okay, um, and I'm gonna say, uh, uh, um, okay, so that's the task, and I'm gonna say description. I'd say descript. Okay, of needed process. Okay, so when I do the description of needed process, okay, it should be able to tell me that okay, this is what we need, and this is why we need it. Okay, and that's step one. Step two, we need to do this. Step three, we need to do this. We need to find this. Step four, we need to do this. Step five, we need to do this. Okay, and it had to be go on and on and on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna pause this again. I'm gonna try to work on it a little bit more, and then I'm gonna start the video up and let you see exactly where I am. Okay, so I'm back again. So what I'm basically trying to do right now, all this stuff, I don't know why that junk comes up like that. What I am trying to do right now with my project process document, okay, I am trying to establish exactly what I'm going to be doing, okay, when I'm creating a project, right? So the first thing I noticed in this, I'm going to bring this design back up, okay, and what it is that what I wrote down in my document is exactly what I need to do. And this is a process control manual, all right? Menu, excuse me. And what I wanted to do was, um, I'm gonna have to projects, you know, uh, uh, project process steps. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. Okay, to begin either opening a new project. Okay, opening a new project or find available team members who may want to work on a project task. All right, so this is very important right here. Okay, a new project. Okay, and I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna put some parentheses in here. You know. Uh, okay. So, what I'm looking at right now is okay. Looking at my document and okay, and like I said, I'm trying to create project process steps, and I'm trying to be realistic with this because I know whenever I go into this mode, okay, now we're talking about inner company. We're not talking about bringing in customers. We talk about inner company, and to start off, okay, what we want to do. Okay, I want to be able to structure an ideal for me to start working on a project, and I want to be able to define the project in this process and the time length it would take for me to do it, and then have some tasks associated with steps. Okay, and of course they're gonna have to be a reporting process as well. Okay, so um, I will look at the project budget, the project, the resources, project timelines, project reporting. All these different things will have to create some type of structured um, process that will allow me to come up with some type of analysis, okay, or ideal of how long the project should take and how much money I would actually have to spend or to um, save up in order to begin the project all the way to its birth of the project. Okay, so that's where I am right now. I'm gonna continue to work on the document, and we're gonna see what happens during the next phase of this training. Okay. Test, 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 test. Okay, I am trying to establish some things that took me practically all day to do. Um, I was pretty much spinning my wheels on everything, okay, and now I'm coming to some type of conclusion what I need to be doing. Okay, so this is a scenario here. Um, as we know, like I said, I'm building my project management database, right? So um, within within my within my project management database, okay. Make sure I got this loud enough. Within my project management database, as you know, I have all these different like forms, everything like that. Okay, and I was looking at some things. Let me put this on pause for it. Oh, it's not going to allow me to do it. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why it won't let me put it on pause. Okay, some of my stuff won't let me do it. I guess it depends on how I go about starting my stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Here, no, there. Um, what I want to do, I can still get through it through here. Access. Okay, so there, I got it. So what do you mean? Oh, okay. Damn, that's my bad. It's right here. Okay. So this situation. Okay. I got my PowerPoint presentation, everything like that, how I want everything to go. And the thing is basically how I want to initiate the whole process of me moving my database into in a position where I can work it. Okay. And the thing is that it's basically saying, okay, I want to start a project, right? Okay, I want to start a project, and there's no funding for it yet. Okay, so what I want to do is I have to create some steps, and I've been and see was taking me so long to really get this thing together because see, I'm a very technical person, and I'm explaining when and plus I am administrative guru. I like things to be well documented. Now, my problem is when you clash technical with administrative processes together and you're trying to think things out, you're trying to make things too technical when all you need is an administrative process. Okay, but I like talking my way through things, and sometimes that can be a good thing. 'Cause I need to think things out before I actually start putting things out because I don't want things to go here or there. Okay, but I have been looking at this stuff and trying to put something together for like 8 hours. Okay, and to me, I haven't accomplished anything that I want to do. Okay, so my whole thing that I was trying to connect a screen so I can draw stuff out, this and that, but then that would have been a waste of time, okay? Because I would still have to put it in a PowerPoint so that it will be manageable, okay? I can always update a PowerPoint presentation, but when you start writing stuff down, you have to erase and all that stuff like that. Oh, I didn't want to do this, but so I had to back up off of that, okay? And I've been doing that for like 10 hours, okay? Looking at stuff, researching stuff, and taking breaks. And I was really frustrating myself because I wasn't getting anywhere. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way down here where things was supposed to happen. Okay, now the point is go up here a little bit, make sure I'm doing stuff. Okay, account funding approvals and adjustments. This is a customer accounting administrator. Okay, so we already know um, it's going to be under a certain um, uh, um, department. Okay, inform accounting department for investigation process. So stop. So, but all this here, okay, for an employer, the Shepherd Family Enterprise, Business Administration, Information Systems Consultants, since we know what we're doing and we don't have to go outside of the company to bargain anything, what we're trying to do is try to come up with a solution. And then from there, we have to build an infrastructure, okay? Saying that, okay, what do we need to do in order to make this work, okay? Now, in order for that to happen, okay, in order for that to happen, we have to say, okay, through this PowerPoint flow chart here, I have to say, okay, at what point in this whole process will I need to say, okay, we need to open another project outside of what's going on, all right? And it may be something pertaining to a customer, or it may be something internal, or something that we overlooked and now we need to correct right away. And that's where I am right now. Okay. So the first thing I need to do basically, and before I start, let me make sure this is working. If I get all off the thing, all off key, and I find out this stuff is not really recording the way I want to. Okay. All right. Let me stop this, and then I'm gonna come back in it. Okay.